DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Daily motivation. Topic today, I'm going to tell you 3 harsh truths about human beings that hopefully do not apply to you directly, but by law of averages, it probably, at least one of them may apply to you, and maybe all of them apply to some of you. But regardless of whether they apply to you or not, I'm going to tell you what these 3 harsh truths are, because they are true, whether they apply to you or not. We still got to accept the truth. And I'm going to tell you why they are, and I'm going to tell you what you should do about these truths. Okay, so let's get into it, all 3. First of all, let me tell you what they are. Number 1, people do not think. Number 2, people do not read. And number 3, people are lazy. Now that you understand these, I want you to think about if any of these apply to you as I explain why I know these to be true. And then I'm going to explain to you what you can do about these if you notice, or at any point in your life you come to notice that any of these are applying to you, because these are generalities about people that are true, but they're harsh truths, because these truths are some of the things that lead us to not living the lives that we say we want to live, because we allow these truths to remain true. So let me get into it. Number 1, people do not think. First of all, let's get clear on what thinking is. And first, let's talk about what thinking is not. Thinking is not watching YouTube videos. Thinking is not the time you spend reading a book, or going to a class on a college campus, or consuming the material in a course that you signed up for. None of that is thinking. Now, thinking may be taking place while you're doing that, but that's not the thinking that I'm talking about. Thinking that I'm describing here is the time that you take when you are not consuming anything, you're not watching anything, you're not reading or listening to anything, you don't have an AirPod in your ear, and you are actually allowing your brain to work and communicate within itself. That thinking time, there's a lot less of it that happens in humanity these days, and the main reason is because we have these devices right here that allow us to be constantly occupied with something going into our eyes or into our ears, and we never have time when we are just with ourselves, just with our brains, just present with ourselves and not doing anything else. This is why there's a lot less thinking going on with more people, and the younger demographics tend to do less thinking simply because they've grown up with these devices, whereas somebody like your grandma, they are not used to using these devices, so they may get more thinking time than you do simply because they're not used to always being occupied with something, whereas if you're 16, you've been occupied with something your entire damn life. So this thinking part, and the reason why this matters, the reason why it matters that people don't think, the reason why this is a harsh truth, is because people are, despite the fact that we have all these devices and artificial intelligence and chat GPTs, etc., that allegedly do the thinking for us, we are thinking for ourselves less. Therefore, though we have more smart devices and smart applications, people are generally dumber than they used to be. Why? Not because we have become dumber people, simply because we spend less time engaging our brains, we spend less time thinking. So you need to think about if that applies to you, and I'm going to tell you what to do about it in a moment. Second truth, people don't read. What is reading? The extent that most people read these days is an Instagram caption or a tweet, or the headline on a YouTube video, or the headline on some article that they came across on the internet and didn't even read the article to find out what exactly the headline is alleging is taking place. Because often what's on the headline and what's actually in the article are 2 different things, if you actually read it. The challenge is many of you don't read. People simply do not sit down and read anything that would take them more than 30 seconds to consume. Most reading that most of you do is a text message, Instagram caption, or a tweet, or again, the headline of an article, but you don't actually read the damn article. And this is leading to why a lot of people don't think. One of the reasons people don't think is because they don't read. Because when you read, you're going to consume material that may challenge your thinking and cause you to think differently. But if you don't read, then your thinking never gets challenged. So what you think is thinking is not thinking, but you never realize it because you don't read anything. This is the challenge. It's also known, this is statistically proven data, that when people get out of school, whatever formal education you got, middle school, high school, college, post-grad, that once people get out of school, they never read another book voluntarily for the rest of their lives. They never, once again, open a book and read it on their own volition. Now, you read a book because you got forced to, but most people, not nobody, I read books. Most people, after they get out of school, never read another book voluntarily on purpose for the rest of their lives. That's crazy. That's a scary thought, but it's very true. Most of the books that get purchased on Amazon are purchased as gifts. If you didn't know that, that's also true. Here's another thing that's true. Most books that get purchased don't get read past the second chapter. That's also a true, proven truth, fact. Why does this matter? Why is this important? People don't read, they usually don't think. And a lot of people don't read these days. All you gotta do is have some conversations, have a little bit of exchange with most people. You realize it ain't really nothing up there. All right, besides whatever they were told by somebody else. A lot of people don't have a lot of their own information. Where your own information comes from does not mean you need to be the reporter or the author going out there and writing the story. What it means is you need to consume, if you're going to consume, there's nothing wrong with consumption. Consume material from multiple sources and then decide on your own what you actually think. And a lot of people don't do that because they don't take the time to consume enough. They don't read enough to find out what's really going on. And by the way, material that you get that is written is often much more in-depth and much more detailed than material that you get that is spoken. In other words, if you want to learn from me, you better off reading my books than you are watching my YouTube videos, even though I'm making YouTube videos. I make YouTube videos because most people will watch YouTube before they'll read a book, so I got to play the game. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? But if you want to get more in-depth information from anybody, read that person's books. Don't just watch their YouTube or even listen to their podcast. I will put it in order of depth: reading, podcast, YouTube. YouTube is like the lowest common denominator. YouTube along with all the other social medias, TikTok, Instagram, etc. So now you know that. That's the second harsh truth. Here's the third harsh truth. People are lazy. This is a simple one that most of you probably understand. People simply do not put much effort forth, and people are very, very inefficient with their time and effort. Inefficient meaning you are not getting a lot done in a certain period of time. You might get a lot done, but it takes you a long time to get it done, relative to someone who is focused on being efficient. Efficient means getting a lot done, getting important things done, and getting them done within a certain time frame. All three together. There's productivity, there's effectiveness, there's efficiency. Productivity means getting things done. Effectiveness means getting things that matter done. And efficiency means getting a lot of things that matter done within a certain time frame. Notice that the difference? A lot of people are lazy in that they're very inefficient if they get anything done at all. Many people are not productive at all. Many people are definitely not effective, and very few people are efficient. These are three harsh truths about human beings. Now, I'm giving you these three harsh truths to tell you this. Here's the motivation part of it. Because you're like, Dre, this is daily motivation. Where's the motivation? Here's the motivation. You want to be above the average. You want to be different than the masses of people. And most people, by definition, are average. Do the opposite of these three things. Since most people don't think, most people don't read, and they're lazy, you need to be the opposite of this. That means you need to spend time thinking. You need to open a book and read it. And you need to stop being lazy. And you need to put structures in place in your life that demand that these things happen, not hope or wish or try to work on making them happen. Many of you have been trying to work on something for 3 years and it ain't working, yet you keep telling yourself you're trying to work on it. Well, you're not trying to work on it. That's why it's not working. You're not a dummy. The most powerful tool known to man is the human brain. You put your brain to work, it will actually produce a result. You got to put a structure in place that requires your brain to work, not hopes that your brain works. Many of you are going through life hoping, and that's why you're not getting any outcomes. Put a structure in place that makes it work. So, three harsh truths. People don't think, people don't read, and people are lazy. Be the opposite of that. I guarantee it'll change your life in many ways. So with that said, I want to let you all know I send out a daily motivation text message to your phone every day. The message that I send in text is different than the message I send in video. So basically, you can double dip and get 2 daily motivations from me for the price of 0, because I'm not charging you for either one. You can get it for free by texting me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. Every day when that daily motivation text drops, you'll get it straight to your phone for free. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. That's where all my coaching and training, all my high-level stuff is in Work on Your Game University. That's where our focus is business-wise. You want to work with us directly, the only place to do it is in Work on Your Game University. The link to that and the link to the text down below in the description. Third, all the YouTube stuff. Please subscribe to our channel so every video that comes out, you'll know about it. Hit the notification bell so every time we drop a vid, you immediately know. You can catch it as soon as it comes out. You can watch this first thing in the morning while you're getting ready for your day. Make sure you like the video. Share this video on social, send it to a friend, text it to somebody, and leave me a comment. Let me know the best idea or thought or insight you got from what you got in this video. And that's that, everybody. Work on your game. Dre all day. Have an amazing day.